So, when you hear the term voice AI, what's the first thing that comes to mind? Probably calling a customer service line, right? But what if I told you its biggest, most game-changing impact isn't on your customers, but on your very own team? Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the surprising power of voice AI as a company's internal secret weapon.
Okay, first things first. We need to talk about a problem that exists in almost every single office, but it's one that kind of flies under the radar. It's this invisible friction, this sand in the gears that slows businesses down from the inside out.
I mean, really think about it for a second. What are those little, repetitive things in your workday that just chew up time and energy? You might not think it's a big deal, but trust me, it adds up in a huge way.
And this, right here, this is the problem. It's all these little things, isn't it? The endless manual data entry, hunting for that one piece of information, the back-and-forth emails that create these massive communication bottlenecks. Each one seems small, but you put them all together, you get a team that's totally overloaded and can't get the real work done.
So, how in the world do you fight this invisible drag on your team's productivity? Well, the answer might be a tool you've completely overlooked. It's time we start thinking about voice AI not as something for customers, but as your team's new superstar assistant.
Now, this is the idea that just flips everything on its head. For years, we've been obsessed with how AI can face outwards, towards the customer. But the real, untapped goldmine? It's using it to streamline the work your own people are doing every single day.
So let's be clear about what we're talking about. This is a system that basically acts like a central nervous system for your business. It's an assistant that connects your people directly to all your software and all your processes, and it all happens with simple spoken commands.
Okay, that all sounds great in theory, but what does this actually look like day to day? Let's make it real. We're going to break it down with 3 powerful, concrete examples.
First up, let's talk about task automation. Just think about all the repetitive updates, the logs, the little notes your team has to handle constantly. This is about making all of that stuff happen instantly, with zero effort. Okay, picture this. A technician is out in the field, just finished a job. Now, instead of pulling out a tablet, logging in, and pecking away at some form, they just say this. It's simple, it's fast, and it's done right there on the spot.
And boom, look what happens behind the scenes. That one little sentence kicks off an entire workflow. The CRM gets updated, a report goes to the ops team, the project board gets changed, and an invoice is automatically sent out. That's 4 manual tasks, all done in a matter of seconds. That's a massive time saver.
All right, next up, communication. Keeping the right people in the loop is absolutely critical, but it's so often where things just fall through the cracks.
Here's another scenario we've all lived through. An employee notices the AC is busted, so what do? Instead of trying to remember who to email or what online form to fill out, they just say this out loud.
And just like that, the AI does all the heavy lifting. It creates a ticket in whatever system you use, Jira, Zendesk, you name it. It figures out, oh, this is a maintenance issue, and it pings the right team directly on Slack. The communication problem? Totally gone.
And for our final example, let's talk about something that wastes an insane amount of time: finding information. How much of your team's day is spent just hunting for answers in old documents or bugging their colleagues?
This is such a classic question, right? An employee needs a very specific piece of information to do their job. And normally, this would mean digging through some clunky knowledge base or interrupting their manager's workflow.
But with an internal voice AI, they just ask the question and get an immediate, accurate answer. This doesn't just save time, it cuts down on mistakes and makes training new employees so much faster. It's basically like having an expert on call 24/7.
So, we've seen the what. Now let's get into the why. What is it about using your voice that makes it so much more powerful for all these internal tasks? I mean, this comparison really says it all. The old way is all typing, clicking, navigating menus, trying to remember complex steps. It's a huge cognitive load. It's draining. With voice, you just speak. The action is instant, you don't have to memorize a thing, and the mental effort is practically zero. It's just a more human, more natural way to get things done.
And don't for a second think this is just for some niche tech companies. Look at how this applies across the board. In a hospital, it can reduce scheduling errors. For a home services company, it means getting real-time project updates from the field. In a warehouse, it means processing returns way faster. The core idea works everywhere. When you start putting all these pieces together, you begin to see a really fundamental shift in how teams can work. This isn't just about saving a few minutes here and there. It's about building a smarter, faster, and more connected organization from the ground up.
And the amazing thing is, the time you save isn't just stuck in one department. It affects everyone, from your support team and your sales reps to operations, admin, and even HR. These efficiency gains start to compound across the entire business. It's a ripple effect.
So what's the big takeaway here? What's the bottom line? It's simple. Putting an internal voice assistant in place leads to faster execution, much better team coordination, and way fewer human errors. You are literally freeing your team from the boring, low-value manual work so they can actually focus on the stuff that matters.
And really, that's the big idea we want to leave you with. It's time to stop thinking of voice AI as just an external, customer-facing tool. It's an incredibly powerful support system for the most important people in your company, your own team.
Which really just brings us to the final question, and this one's for you. After seeing all this, what's that one tedious, annoying, repetitive task that immediately pops into your head at your own job? Because that's probably the perfect place to start.